to empower us on human trafficking. So without further ado, please welcome Detective Horton.
Please call me Ashley. And I feel horrible for you guys because I don't know that I can follow such a powerful message as well, you know, as we just got. So bear with me. But first, I'd like to start off a little bit about me. I've been on the department for 11 years. I was in West Charlotte as a patrol officer, third shift. I loved it. Really kind of got to deal with the community, and I've been fortunate enough in my career to have amazing co-workers and supervisors. And then I went to sexual assault. I was a detective in sexual assault for 5 years. Again, I feel super proud. I've worked with amazing people, and I really started to learn and reflect a lot about myself and my life. And I stumbled upon human trafficking, and it started coming in through rape cases. And when you're dealing with a case, you look at the incident that's occurred, and we just focus on that. And I really started to realize that we need to look at someone's life and what's going on with that person. And I can still handle their situation, but as I moved into human trafficking, which I've done for 3 years, 2 through sexual assault, and officially a year and a half now on a task force with the FBI. And there's never a case or a person the same. Everybody's story is different, even though it presents the same. And it really started to make me wonder about my own life and what got me to the point I am today. And my father was killed when I was 14 in his business. He owned a plumbing and heating business. And the system kind of failed me, I suppose, and my brother and my mom. You know, they never figured out who did it, said it was a suicide, even though the facts were there. And so I found myself having to deal with that. My brother, he went one path, I went another. He went to drugs and alcohol, and fortunately he's lived to come out of all that. And it's been a blessing. He had a daughter, and that's what saved his life, essentially. And for me, I look and I think, well, the structure that our parents gave us, and my mom she's my rock, you know. She's taught me everything. My mom hates when I tell this, but I love it. She told my brother and I when we were growing up, if you cross the road to get that ball and you don't tell mom and dad, you'll get hit by a car and you'll die. And I was like, oh, okay, that's really awful. And she said, you'll never see us again. Do you want that? And I said, no, never want that. I always want to see you. And it seems so harsh, but it was what I needed to realize there's choices to be made. When I got older, my sex talk was, if you have sex, you're going to get pregnant, and then your life will be ruined, because you'll be taking care of that baby, because I'm not helping you. You won't go to college, you can't play sports anymore. Is that what you want? And I thought, my goodness, this is a tough crowd. No, I don't want that at all. So I had that person to kind of give me the harsh reality, and she doesn't sugarcoat anything, but she's extremely supportive, and she's always walked me through my hard times. And I started to realize when I was in sexual assault that a lot of women and even young men don't have that. They don't have that person. And it troubled me. And, you know, I think that's kind of why I've found a passion for human trafficking. Because I see that we are lacking our community. And to kind of just go over the law, and what I do is, well, I know everybody's from different states, so your state has separate laws, but the federal law basically says anyone under 18 cannot prostitute. Now, North Carolina has the Safe Harbor Act, which came about in 2013, and that says that you cannot be charged if you're a minor for prostitution. But anybody that helps facilitate that can be charged. It's a felony. So we have a lot of girls that say, oh, I'm independent. You know, I'm like, you're 14. You didn't really choose to be a prostitute. Like, you know, you didn't choose to go to a hotel and do things for money that you probably don't want to do, take risks to be robbed, to get killed, to be assaulted, you know. And some of these girls seem to not care, but I know they do. So by law, I start to charge whoever rented that room, who drove them to that hotel, who took money from them for food and gas, and I don't feel bad about it. And I try to explain that you're complicit in that. So from a state level, I have the best of both worlds. I can't complain. I can charge someone on a state level, and I don't have to prove knowledge of age. So when they say, well, I thought they were 18, it doesn't matter, you know. Federally, I have to prove a little bit more. I have to prove that they knew their age, that they were under 18. I have to prove that they took them from one city to another. For anyone over 18, I have to prove that they were threatened, they were beaten, they were defrauded, they were coerced, and then go from there. I get more bang for my buck. I get 10 years mandatory minimum for anyone 15 to 17. I get a mandatory minimum of 10 as well for 18 and over when I prove those things. If you're under 15, it's a mandatory minimum of 15 years. So why not go federal, right? It's just a little harder to prove. But state, I can take you there all day. But we've had really low bonds. I've had people, I've charged a mother, her son, and his wife. Now, he was orchestrating it from prison. His wife went to North Carolina Central. She graduated with a bachelor's degree in criminal justice. Educated young lady, wanted to be in law enforcement. I think she had a job lined up in probation. And she threw away because she wanted to be with this young man. And, you know, I try to think about that. You know, why would someone throw their life away? And I really don't know. I can't figure it out. But then I start thinking, well, it's because they didn't have anyone to kind of keep them on the path. So, you know, they signed themselves out of jail the same day that I arrested them because the bond's so low. And they ran 3 minors, 2 16-year-olds and a 17-year-old, all to make bail money for the husband, okay? So, we look at that. I had a 12-year-old. She had no problem with what she was doing. She had some mental health issues. So I started seeing, okay, there's more to it. But our system says we have behavioral issues. She's just undisciplined. And it may not be that. 14-year-old told me she made more money than I did, which was true, actually, it was true. Some of these girls make $3,000 to $6,000 a week. Wow. But they don't keep it, but they believe they do. Because they have a hotel room, they have ramen noodles or cookouts, obviously the deluxe. And they have someone that tells them they care. Not all of them are, you know, you've got your Romeo pimp, I love yous, I want to be with you. You know, you're helping me out of a hard time. We're going to have that white picket fence and the huge house. That's a lot of the story. Then you have a gorilla pimp. A lot of them start off with the I love yous, and then it turns to beatings. And the I don't care what you want, you do what I tell you. And even then, you have girls who want to be with that person, you know, Stockholm Syndrome. And the best thing I've learned is to look at it and share. If you think you see something, domestic violence, I think, is probably the easiest thing that we could talk about. Everybody's kind of seen that somewhere in our paths of life. That is what we're looking for, the control. I personally think when you have a young lady who doesn't look like she's above 12 and she's with an older person, we might need to look into that. You know, we've stopped asking questions along the way, and we stopped getting involved as a community. And as a police officer, I say, please don't ever put yourself in a situation that's going to get you harmed. Don't ever do it, right? Call 911. We'll do it. I'll come out. I'll be the bad guy. I don't care. But then I start reflecting back on my life. How did I make it out of this situation and I didn't go that way? Because of love. Because my parents, I was brought up in the church, but I also was given the reality, the harsh realities by my mom. You'll die if you go chase that ball across the road. And I knew that came from a place of care and love. And when I was growing up, and I would imagine everybody would be the same here, you knew your neighbor's first and last name. If I went and I did something I wasn't supposed to, I got disciplined by them. And then when I got home, it was worse. You know, we communicated, we talked, everybody shared, everybody came together as a group. And we're talking about our neighbors' children, our kids, our family members. Everybody wants to have the image of these international Lifetime movies smuggled in, chained to bathroom walls. And it's not us, it's not our family, it's not our kids. They're from, you know, wherever. Guatemala, you know, whatever. They're over here. That's not our people. No, it's us. I can promise you that there are more African American girls involved in this lifestyle than there are anybody else. Next, we have more white females. And then Hispanic females. So these are our children. They're runaways, and they're foster kids, but some of them are former police captains' daughters. Some of them have great lives, and they say, I'm bored at home. And mom works 2 jobs to try to put food on the table. I had a girl, actually this past week, she'd been in 18 foster homes. She's 16. And she said, I just like to run. I said, why? She said, I don't know. I like to be on the street. I said, well, what about this last foster home? Oh, they're really good people. They actually care. It's a great home. Oh, that makes no sense to me. Like, can you explain to me that? I don't know. I'd rather be on the street. And I said, well, the streets don't care about you. Do you want to teach your kids about life, or do you want the streets to teach them? Amen. And I think the way we're moving in society, we don't want the streets to teach anybody. We as a community need to come together and do it. I've realized that money or the idea of money is what is such a powerful thing for our young folks now. have more girls say, I'd rather do whatever sex act with a stranger and make $80 in 15 minutes or half an hour or $150 in an hour than go and sit through school, than go to a job. And look what I can get myself. A pair of Nikes. And I'm not kidding, they were just black Nikes. And she's like, they're Jordans. And I'm, okay, but they're not even the flashy Jordans. Like, really? They're not even like the limited that we stood in line for 3 hours to get Jordans. I've had a girl say, I made $20 and I bought ice cream. And it was awesome. And I said, but what are you losing yourself when you do that? It's just sex. That's what they tell me. It's just sex. And I wonder, where did our values go? Where did the morals and the value of self go? And that's why I love this group that you've put together here. And I love the vendors because I've learned that these girls don't have a skill. They don't have anybody to teach them how to earn money. And I reflect back that that's one thing I was taught, it was ingrained in me, that you work hard. You work hard to get what you want in life. And you don't give up your self-worth for it. And I'm not seeing that now these days. And, we talk about with girls, what do you value of yourself? Well, look, I put this roof over mine and those poor guys you just arrested with the gun out there and the drugs. I put a roof over their head. But you're 14. You should be playing and, with friends. You should be doing arts and crafts or playing sports. And they don't have that. And I know we've got so many great programs in our cities, wherever you're from. We have so many programs, but nobody really talks about it. Nobody really shares until you're at risk or you're in need. And it makes me sad. And so, for me, I try to figure out, what do I need to do to help? How can I get in touch with the community and say, I don't want to do a lot of paperwork and take people to jail. I don't want to do that unless they absolutely need to go. Then they go, right? But I want us to start working together, and I want to touch base and learn from you. I cannot tell someone of a different race about struggle. I can't tell them what it took to be successful in life. I can tell them my story and maybe they pick up on it. But I can't do it for someone else because I don't know your struggle. I don't know what's going on. I don't know how you get treated. I hope we treat with respect. I can teach that, but it doesn't really mean a lot for me. So my next kind of plan here for myself, because I always feel like I'm never doing a good enough job. What can I do better? I would love to get some mentorships with groups and teach these young men and young women a skill, a life. Look at this success. Look at this success of life and this relationship, and how beautiful it is. 55 years, you can be with somebody that's the same person and actually still like them.
Amen.
And teach these things. But everybody says, I want to help, what can I do? I think that's what we can do. I think we can find someone that maybe hasn't crossed the line yet and teach them that I care, you care, we're going to come together and care about you as a community, but I'm going to teach you something. With that said, it means I hold you accountable. And every girl I get, I tell her, I'll never lie to you, because I don't like to be lied to, and it's too much work to try to keep up with lies, right? But I'm going to make sure that I can find an answer for you. I can find something for you, but I'm going to hold you accountable. If you've got a warrant, I told a young lady the other day, I said, you've got this warrant, let's get it taken care of. When you get out, she wants to be a wrestler, like WWE. And I said, I'll find you a wrestling class. I will find that for you, but please take care of yourself. And she called me, and I said, hey, I got a class, I found it. Let's go. And unfortunately, she's wrapped up with one of my other girls, and they haven't called back yet. But that's okay, I wait. I stalk. I call, I text, hey, still here. I'll find you, don't worry. And we have some conversations and whatnot, but I think that's it, consistency. And even though it looks bad because I wear a badge and a gun, it's still somebody there, right? So I ask you all that we just look at ourselves and what we can do to make ourselves better and our lives better. And I think that starts with teaching our young people. I applaud the young man back there trying to make something of his life with his bow ties.
Yeah.
And let's face it, guys in bow ties are just precious, right? So, what can we do? We have to teach values. We have to teach love, respect, because it's missing. And I think the way that we do that is to start with ourselves, and then we teach our children, because those are the ones that are out here falling for anything to be said. They're vulnerable to people telling them that they want to help, that they have something for them, they have easy money, they have parties and whatnot, And ask questions. We say treat your kid like a suspect, but be in their business. They don't get rights. I didn't anyway. This phone belongs to me. I pay the bill. You're in my house. So there's nothing that's off limits. My partner searches his daughter's rooms. He has 3 daughters plus him, and then he has me. So he's a stressed out little soul. But let's just be involved. That's what I left cards and some little I don't even know what they are, but kind of like a bookmark type thing that have some guides to what to look for. You can please call me, email me, text me, any question. I will try to do whatever I can to find an answer. If we don't have it, we'll make it happen. That's what I believe in, and just coming. But I really appreciate the opportunity to speak to you and to be a part of this. Thank you so much.